Hi friends! This week we're going to be reviewing the writing process and the expectations for third grade. Let's get started. The first step of the writing process is to pre-write your story. This is where you will read the prompt, gather ideas, and organize your ideas using a graphic organizer. To brainstorm, we can use a circle map like the one you see here. To plan a personal narrative composition, we can use a sequencing graphic organizer, one that has beginning, middle, and end, as well as events that you can plan out to write your story. To plan an informational composition, we can use an informational pillar graphic organizer. We can add more details to this organizer, like a lead, a topic overview, main idea 1 with details, main idea 2 with details, main idea 3 with details, and finally, a conclusion. Once you have brainstormed and planned your story, you can begin writing or making your draft. The draft is the second step in the writing process. This is when you will use your ideas from step 1 to write your rough draft. This is an example of a student's draft. As you can see, they skipped lines. They still used their best handwriting, and they made sure to write important details. This student wrote more than one page on their draft, so your story should not be too long, but it also should not be too short. 2.5 pages is a good length that shows all of your details in your story. A little more is okay, a little less is okay. After you finish writing your draft, you can go on to revising. Although you can actually revise at any point as you're writing your draft. Revising is when you will make improvements to your writing using the ARMS strategy. Your teacher will teach you more about this strategy, but this means that you can add more details, remove words or details, move things around, or substitute better words. Here's an example of a student's revision. This is where they chose to add more words to make their story better, or decided to move some things around to change how their story is. Finally, when you get to the editing step, this is the fourth step in your writing process. This is when you will correct any grammatical errors in your revised writing. You can edit using the strategy CUPS, capitalization of errors, usage of errors, punctuation of errors, and spelling of errors. This is an example of someone who edited their draft. As you can see, they looked for capitalization, punctuation, some spelling, which you can do as well. The fifth and final step of the writing process is your publishing. This is when you will create your final draft on paper or on the computer with all of your revisions and edits taken into consideration. This is a published example of somebody's story. Remember that whenever you are doing your rough draft, because you're skipping lines, your story might be 2 or 3 pages long. But once you finish revising and editing and you publish your story, it should fit in about 1 page. Remember, you don't want to write too little because this won't help your reader imagine what you're trying to say. And you don't want to write too much because you don't want to repeat a lot of the same details over and over. A perfect published story is about 1 page long. I hope this helped you to understand a little bit more of the writing process. Let's get to writing.